But Josh Brolin has been handling this very, very calmly and coolly, even though he doesn't fucking have to. I don't really that. He goes, if I don't want to do Avatar, I'm not going to do Avatar. James Cameron's fucking calling me this name and that name, whatever. If James Cameron wants to, if James Cameron came to me and said, "Hey man, why'd you say that?" I'd go, because it happened. and pretty much, again, it was a laid back response on his part and didn't have to be. But again, okay, we've spoken how long it's going to take to do the next bunch of Avatar's films. I mean, it was well into, what did I say, 2025 or something?
Yeah, I believe so, if not longer, yeah.
It was like way out there.
Yeah.
And, okay, screws Josh Brolin for not wanting to spend the rest of his fucking career working on your one franchise for 4 films that's going to take well over 10 fucking years to do. Okay? Number one. Oh, I'm sorry, Josh Brolin is fucking currently busy with Deadpool. Oh, and let's not forget Josh Brolin is also currently busy with the Avengers films. To go on his big verbal tirade, left and right, cursing his name and everything like that, and talking all this shit about him. Like, that's ridiculous. I don't give a fuck if you're James Cameron. It's like...
Yeah, seriously.
You're James Cameron. Right now, Josh Brolin is like the hottest fucking thing out right now. The guy can act. He's a solid actor. He's a dedicated actor to whatever role he has. Does whatever needs to be done for that role. No matter what he has to put himself through physically, even at his age.
Yeah.
It's not like he's young. Like, getting... As an older person, and I'm not Josh Brolin's age, but still, as an older person in terms of fitness, it's not easy.
No.
When you're not working out to suddenly try to get into that shape. Your body doesn't work that way. Like, he was working out hard, everybody's like, oh, he's lifting such lighter weights. Yeah, when you're older, it's not easy. Especially when you don't do this on a regular basis. Regardless of whatever trainers and dieters you have, it's not an easy thing to fucking do. And everything like that. And again, I mean, he's doing the other stuff with Marvel, and then not to mention any of the films that he's currently working on.
Yeah.
And everything like that. So again, if he signed on for Avatar, that would pretty much lock him into that, and then that's like it. That to what, and especially with Cameron's demands, that's how it would be.
Yeah.
So, to James Cameron and your freaking ego, we say... What the fuck? What the fuck? And we're going to double whammy this because Josh Brolin, for handling it so cool, we give you this one. Give him bitch pudding.
I was about to say, you're segueing, but I don't know.
Bitch pudding! Blam! Josh Brolin. Blam!
Fucking A.
Fucking love Josh Brolin. Alright.
You ever thought we'd ever say things like that?
Yeah, seriously,
Brand?
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, in further Thursday news, we have some more Game of Thrones stuff.
Of course we do.
Okay. Well, Game of Thrones cinematographer is saying, for those of you that watched this past Sunday's episode, hold on to your spankies. Because apparently, this week's episode is supposed to be better than last week's episode.
As if that was possible.
I'm gonna we have to borrow Jason's paper bags. That's all I'm gonna say. We sat so clenched in that last 10 minutes, only to be robbed of 10 minutes, might I just say. That was so fucked up.
I've never watched an episode of anything
that clenched.
that, like, covered up in my blankets, sweating, and my anxiety going all high, because I was like, oh my god, I want this one to live, but if this one lives, that means this one has to die. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I know. It was like, who the fuck do you root for right now?
I know.
And everything. Accompanied by that statement, IGN did a breakdown. Okay, mind you, we have 3 episodes left. I think this week goes back to regular time. Then we have a 70-minute episode and we have an 80-minute episode, if I'm correct. And I think, like I said, I think we get a full hour this week or something like that. But I know the last one, it's 70 and 80 minutes respectively on the last two. Now, also, we may not see season the final season next year. The final season may be actually held off till 2019. Be still my bleeding heart.
I know.
That's all I'm gonna say. It was rough enough waiting till summer for this shit.
It was.
It was hard enough waiting for summer for winter to come. Okay, because winter didn't come when they needed it to come. So you know what I mean. Anyway, IGN did a breakdown of the season trailer that we were privy to after the debut of stuff that has not been shown yet. Mind you, there's only 3 episodes left, and just to kind of show you how major some things are. One of the clips was Arya looking under a bed for something. So it's like, okay, what is that all about? Mm-hmm. Now also, obviously they will be facing the White Walkers this season. I don't know if it's going to be the finale or not. But basically, it's an all-star battle. Basically what happened because it featured Jon Snow.
Yes.
The Hound,
yes.
who's now like a reborn Christian of faith and everything like that because he's got that
Lord
power.
Lord of the Light.
Lord of the Light thing. Tormund.
I know. And
Dondarrion.
Yes.
And everything like that. So we will be seeing the battle. And they were surrounded. So doesn't look like the battle's going to be going too well if it's down to that. Let's put it that way.
Who knows?
Because it was just them encircled. I didn't see anybody else around. And everything like that. So we're in for some heavy-duty shit on these last fucking 3 episodes.
I actually have a little Game of Thrones tidbit.
Go!
There was a little Easter egg in the last episode that not a lot of people noticed, and you can only see if you still framed it. Mm-hmm. During the practice battle sequence with Brienne and
yes,
Arya,
I heard about this!
walking in the background of the castle was a lean woman with red hair and a green dress. And
it seemed very out of place.
And it seemed very out of place. So that Easter egg was basically that was the quote-unquote ghost of Catelyn Stark.
And it's got people wondering because it's got people wondering and speculating only because Game of Thrones people don't make that kind of mistakes often.
That's why. That's why it's more of an Easter egg because in the books, Catelyn Stark
spoilers
becomes Lady Stoneheart. She becomes a pretty badass character. You know, she gets healed
by the White Walkers.
No, not by the White Walkers.
By the White Walkers?
No, not at all. She gets found. She gets healed. But the writers have blatantly stated there is no and there will never be a Lady Stoneheart in the episodes. George R. R. Martin was actually quite upset that they were not going to be including that into the story, so that was the little Easter egg that they threw out there.
Just to give people a little something.
Yes, kind of like, hey, the Stark children are reunited. Here's a quick little showing of their quote-unquote mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. It's kind of like the kid hiding behind the curtain in 3 Men and a Little Baby.
Yeah, in a way.
Which is there. If you go through the scene, it is there.
I don't want to.
It's there.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because if you play it in regular speed, you don't see it. But when you slow it down, it's there.
Nope.
I've seen it too.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Also, on Thursday news, ESPN released their trailer for a documentary they're doing called 30 for 30. It's a Nature Boy Ric Flair documentary. It's very interesting because it's not so much highlighting the spectacular career of Ric Flair. Get ready to get your Kleenexes. It's more so like Ric Flair said, you know, the problem was that it became my life, and then the other problem was it was my addiction. And it basically showed how he let wrestling destroy his personal life, and how the line for him personally got blurred between the real person and Ric Flair becoming the real person. Looks interesting, to say the least. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. You seem to have a face up on you about
No.
it. Lies.
Not at all.
Lies, yeah.
Not at all.
Alright, well, and a bit of shocking news that came up yesterday, and everything like that. Coming back to Times Square this month. This month. Toys R Us is returning to Times Square at 1466 Broadway with a brand new 3-level store. Like, out of nowhere. Absolutely out of nowhere.
They shouldn't have left in the first fucking place.
Like, it wasn't even... Well, how long have they been gone? Barely
about a year?
About a year? 2 years?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 years max?
Maybe, but it hasn't been long.
Yeah, and all of a sudden now they're back just in time before the holidays, I guess, to rake in that dough, and then let's see. I wonder if they're going to just do like a seasonal opening and closing thing. Like, seriously. Like, they open it around summer, they keep it open until shortly after Christmas, and then they close it back down and then they do it again.
I just liked it for the candy.
Yeah, I know, you loved the candy thing.
I loved Candylands.
Yeah, but now they got like the Hershey's thing and all that stuff all around there, too. So I'm
It's
sure
not, no. Candylands and Wonka's stuff. That's it. Fuck everything
well,
else.
isn't there's like,
There's the M&M store.
Why isn't that, like...
There's Dylan's Candy Shop.
No, but isn't there's like a Wonka's candy store now, too.
It was in Toys R Us.
No, but there actually is one now, is what I'm saying.
I have not heard of this.
Yeah, I heard it, like, remember there was the commercials for it and everything.
That's the Broadway show.
Oh, whatever. Okay, fine.
That's Wonka on Broadway.
Fine. Anyway. So, just stay tuned when that's opening again. It's going to be on 1466 Broadway.
I hope the dinosaur comes back.
Rumor has it the dinosaur is coming back because the dinosaur was a very popular feature.
Yes, the dinosaur was awesome.
Yeah. And Friday news, which is actually kind of a follow-up from Thursday. The Rock is technically somewhat no more, not yet not. He went on his Instagram live yesterday as he was prepping for tattoo work. He's basically doing the evolution of the famous Brahma Bull. You know, became on everything for the t-shirts and everything like that. It basically was like 2 sessions, a total of 22 hours on that massive fucking arm. He basically did a whole big, huge cover-up job with it basically is a big bull skull and everything like that, and it's the evolution. A lot of wrestling fans are taking it as, well, that's the end of The Rock. It's not really the end of The Rock. It's the evolution of the Brahma Bull. It's still the bull, but he's like, it's like that was the character, but not as the evolution of the person. And that's henceforth all the cracks in the skull and everything like that. Like, it has a lot of personal meaning to him and everything like that. But the famous Brahma Bull is now covered up and gone and evolved into something new.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He's so mature now.
Right?
Like, who would have thought? Like,
right?
He would have became, like, what he is now.
I know, seriously. Someone that would, coined the term Rudy Poo
Candy ass and stick up your ass sideways and all
Rudy
that stuff.
Poo, like, huh?
Yeah, seriously.
What else we got?
All right. Friday was a little bit heavy. In a follow-up on this whole HBO hacker thing, some news broke out today from the hacker himself. He basically leaked out HBO's response. HBO's email response is they're pretty much offering up a $250,000 bounty payment. And really, that all they requested is for a week extension. So they are looking to pay this guy. Which is actually substantially less from what he had asked for, which was like the Bitcoin he asked for was like in the millions.
Remember last week when I recommended the movie Hackers and how it used to make me want to be a hacker? Yeah, no, not like that.
Yeah, this guy's like become a total douche.
Not like that. Like
he basically is what like the government thought the hackers were.
Yeah,
like he is that one. He's not the cool hacker.
I wanted to be like one of those hackers that just hacked public access TV so I could watch like random old movies.
But basically
like,
HBO's looking to pay this guy out in some fashion. They're basically looking to give him some money,
as opposed to just sending him to the CIA to find an IP address and actually catch him.
I don't know. They said they have been working with police and FBI and everything, but I mean, how hard is it? If this guy can hack them, how come they can't find him? This is like, it makes no sense.
Well, that's why we are not technologically savvy.
No, we are not. We're lucky enough we get all this shit working over here for you people. And everything like that.
Exactly.
All right. And an interesting tidbit, Valerian director Luc Besson has pretty much slammed superhero movies in two fashions. The first one I'll kind of agree with. The second half is not so much. I'm not going to agree with him. The first part, he's saying the first 10 years of superhero movies was kind of cool. We got the first Spider-Man, we got the first Iron Man, and everything like that, and it was cool. But then there's been so many reboots and so many relaunches and so many alternate universes and this, that, and that, and the other thing. It's become like a headache and a head swirl to try to follow everything.
Yeah.
And I can get that. But then he inserted foot in mouth and went a direction that he probably shouldn't have.
Uh-oh, he went the Michelle Rodriguez way.
He went the